150.
Securing Centaur LH2.
Securing Centaur LO2.
140.
Launch enabled.
137.
FTS armed.
90 seconds to go.
$120.
OCU's armed.
FCS count started.
$110.
Vent valves locked.
$1 minute.
Rock, report range status.
Range green.
All right, so stay with us again after liftoff. We'll also have the voice chiming in from Rob Kesselman from ULA. He'll be providing the launch vehicle ascent data.
$40.
Stable at step 3.
So that's a great sign right there, stable at step 3. Everything is at flight pressures. Or now the only thing left, Joshua, is that final status check with the whole team.
25 seconds.
Status check.
Go Atlas.
Go Centaur. Go Lucy.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. Atlas V takes flight, sending Lucy to uncover the fossils of our solar system.
Tower clear. RD-180 propellant utilization has gone to closed loop control. The vehicle has begun the pitch yaw roll maneuver. Now, 30 seconds into flight, vehicle is 0.6 miles in altitude, traveling at 939 miles per hour. RD-180 performance continues to look good at this time. Engine pump speeds and injector pressures are in family for this thrust level. Atlas vehicle attitude remains stable at this time. Attitude rates are near zero in all axes. Now at T plus 70 seconds into flight, vehicle is 4 miles in altitude, 0.2 miles downrange distance, traveling at 1,200 miles per hour. Mach 1, Atlas is now supersonic. Vehicle is now passing through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. The vehicle is now throttling down slightly. RD-180 engine parameters continue to look nominal after the prior adjustment to the thrust level. Approximately 2 minutes remain in the Atlas booster phase of flight. The Atlas V rocket weighs now just 1/2 of what it did at launch, burning propellant at a rate of 2,600 pounds per second. Vehicle is now executing closed-loop steering. Centaur reaction control system is now pressurizing the flight levels.
So beautiful launch sequence there. We do have another minute and a half or so to go with the booster in operation, getting Lucy.
We're now just under 3 minutes into flight. Atlas is 33 miles in altitude, 59 miles downrange distance, traveling at 5,600 miles per hour.
So Lucy being lifted up out of the atmosphere by the booster, getting on its way into a park orbit before we get towards
All first stage vehicle systems are operating as expected at this time.
future portions of the launch activity. We have the Centaur multiple burns ahead and spacecraft separation.
Yeah, the big milestone we should see, Josh, coming up is booster engine cutoff, which would be the first stage cutoff and then
The
stage
main
separation.
engine is now throttling to maintain a constant 5G acceleration limit.
We're going to see a few things happen pretty rapidly. The booster will cut off just after 4 minutes, and then within the next 15 seconds after that, we should see the Atlas separate from the Centaur, and then the Centaur engine ignite for its first burn.
Centaur has begun the boost phase chill-down sequence, and the RD-180 is now throttling to maintain a constant 4.6 G acceleration limit. Boost phase chill-down sequence has completed, and we have BECO, booster engine cutoff, and a successful stage separation event.
So what you're seeing on screen is an animation that's being driven by actual telemetry
Boost title on the
data.
RL-10.
So we are watching these things in an animation happen here, but they're happening in real time as well with Lucy.
And Mess 1, we have ignition for the first burn.
All right, so there we go. We should see the fairing jettison here.
We have
in just a few
indication of good
seconds.
payload fairing jettison.
And there we go. All right, Nick, so that wraps up the first round of major milestones here. Still very much in the middle of dynamic flight.
The Q system on the RL-10 is now in an open-loop burn-off mode to burn off excess fuel in the early portion of this burn.
So walk us quickly through, Mick. What are we looking for in this burn and the next one?
So this burn is going to end with MECO getting Centaur and Lucy into its park orbit around Earth. And then we will then get into MESS 2, which will get us into that transfer orbit, getting Lucy on its way.
Awesome. So that's going to do it for now. Finishing up the initial launch activities, everything sounding like it's going perfectly. Daryl, back to you.
Thank you, Joshua and Mick. A beautiful launch out here from our vantage point. Incredible.